Hey, welcome to the video, and today, big short investor Michael Burry predicts Tesla stock will collapse like the housing bubble. Enjoy it while it lasts. We also have don't sell a share. Billionaire investor Chamath Palihapitiya says Tesla's stock could triple from current levels, making Elon Musk the first trillionaire. Today we are going to do a deep dive into who is right and who am I kidding? It's Chamath, guys. I'm going to go over both of these articles and give you my thoughts, but in case you missed it, don't short Tesla. Don't do it. Trust me, as somebody who sold calls on it, which is not even a bearish play per se, I sold very, very high calls. It's cost me a lot of money. I cannot imagine actually actively betting against Tesla. That would be like betting against the casino. Michael Burry, whose lucrative wager on the US housing bubble's collapse in 2007 was captured in The Big Short, said he expected Tesla stock to implode in a similar fashion. And Michael Burry was right. He predicted the US housing bubble collapse, so what he says actually matters. He was actually on the news about a month ago because he confirms that he's shorting Tesla in December too, and now he's essentially doubling down. Quote, well, my last big short got bigger and bigger and bigger too regarding the housing crisis, and he says, enjoy it while it lasts. Burry's highlighting that Tesla gained about $60 billion in market capitalization, the equivalent of General Motors' entire market value, and then some. That means, think about your life's work building this multi-billion-dollar company getting eclipsed in one day. This Science chief disclosed in December that he was shorting Tesla, slamming its stock price as ridiculous. And this is a funny comparison. The 8% jump in that one day alone, $60 billion, was the equivalent of adding 1 GM, 2 Hershey's, 3 Etsy's, 4 Domino's, and 10 Vornados. I actually might want to use this metric for all the things in my life. Like, oh, how much is that car going to worth? I think it's a 0.001 of a GM, 2 Hershey's, 3 Etsy's, 4 Domino's, and 10 Vornados. Very specific, very accurate. I like that. There aren't any more exact details of why he is shorting it other than that he thinks it's overpriced. But now let's look at what Chamath has to say. In case you don't know, Chamath is a very smart guy too. He's a billionaire investor that people are calling the next Warren Buffett. He's a big fan of Warren Buffett's investing principles. He has been very, very successful as well. What he says also matters. So let's compare why he thinks you should not sell Tesla even as its growth is going vertical. Again, after a year of these huge leaps, you still shouldn't sell? Any smart investor would say you should take profit now, right? The billionaire investor Chamath Palihapitiya told CNBC on Thursday that Tesla stock could be worth 3 times its current valuation, which would make CEO Elon Musk the first trillionaire. Palihapitiya said that Tesla was a distributed energy business and that he'd believed for a while that the world's first trillionaire would be a person fighting climate change. Quote, delivering clean energy, allowing the world to be sustainable is an incredibly important thing that will be rewarded by markets and individuals, Palihapitiya said. Don't sell a share. Quote, I don't understand why people are so focused on selling things that work, the social capital CEO added. One of the main issues that people completely missed Tesla was that they kept looking at it as a car company. And it's not a car company. You can't compare it to what came before it because nothing else was quite like it. That is the equivalent of comparing the first iPhone as just a phone. It wasn't just a phone. It was a personal computer in the palm of your hand. And now Palihapitiya is trying to reframe people's image of Tesla that it's not a car company. And I like to say that it's actually a robotics, AI, software company. But this is actually very accurate, or it could be more accurate if you look at the sum of its parts. The reason Elon made Tesla was ultimately to fight climate change. Unlike every other car company that came before it, at least all the ICE car companies, their goal was to make a very good car that could take you from A to B, that it would be comfortable, that people would enjoy driving, that would give you an experience. But this company and all of Elon's company have a greater mission. And that is part of why he's so successful, because people in his company know that they're there for a greater good. And in Tesla's case, it's about fighting climate change. And that's why he's so aggressive in pumping out the number of cars he is. That's why he's such a, some people call a slave driver in his company. He works his company very, very hard. He has very, very high expectations. He doesn't like to waste time. If you look at his company, not only is he making some of the best cars in the world, people love driving them, he is doing doing it at a very, very aggressive rate because he sees a ticking time bomb. And that ticking time bomb is the constant influx of fossil fuels we have been injecting into the air that most people have deemed as too late. Even Elon thinks it's potentially too late. He wants to take us to Mars in case we mess up this planet too much, which he sees as a non-zero possibility. Climate change is one of the greatest, arguably the greatest existential crisis of our time because it could lead to the end of our world. I know not a lot of people think like that, but that's where the trends and the science are kind of pointing. And here, Palapataya is saying that by saving the world, you will be rewarded. Because remember, why do we make billionaires? Because they are offering or selling something that people want. And generally, I think people want to save the world. That's a very important mission. So if I were to invest in any company right now, it's actually not that hard. It's very easy for me to invest in Elon because even if the stock price were to drop, I know the mission. You can feel like you're part of a greater purpose. Now, a lot of people might not like his personality or how he talks, and he's not a perfect man by any stretch of the imagination. But this mission, his focus, and ultimately the results as a shareholder, it really speaks for itself. And for you to sell a Tesla stock right now, Tesla is still so young. Only now has it begun to pay off. Imagining selling Apple in 1995. That date is kind of arbitrary. The key point is that very, very early. Tesla is just, I like to say it's a teenager, but it's actually just a baby. 500,000 cars this year, which was a record for Tesla, like a great achievement. But his goal is up to 20 million a year because only at that number can you start to actually make a dent and convert all of the current ICE cars into electric cars. As you stare at this stock and feel like it's still too high to buy, and I'm not saying there's not going to be a dip. I'm praying, I'm hoping for a dip, but it may never come because people now that it's entered the S&P 500, they're finally coming around to what a lot of the early investors saw, at least in the first run-up already. And for the people that saw this much, much earlier, they are getting paid off in spades. This is part of the allure of Tesla for me. It's pretty selfish. It makes me feel good because I can just put money here, I can grow my money, and feel like I'm contributing into saving the world. Yes, that sounds cheesy, but I think it's true. If you are so blessed to live in this time where you can even own a fraction of this company, we're on the cusp of either the end of the world or a company like Tesla, and including Tesla and all of Elon's company, helping shape our new world. It's coming, guys. It's coming. After I learned about Tesla, I started basically screaming and preaching about it early September. And I was snatching up shares in 400s and people were saying it's way too high then. Oh, this is way too high. Now people are starting to FOMO in and buying it when it's here already. And let me tell you, 5 years from now, you're going to look at a sub $1,000 Tesla and ask yourself why you didn't bite the bullet. Because let's look at even Amazon stock. Is this the price that you want to pay Tesla at? Because Tesla is going to be at this at some point. This is definitely very expensive. Short term, it could dip. But long term, Tesla's a great company to invest in. Be careful. There definitely is some bubbling happening, especially as stimulus money starts to get pumped into the economy. Things are going to go up. But just cost dollar average in. Time in the market always beats timing the market in general. So just think from an investor perspective, not a trading perspective, and you'll be okay. Long-term thinking, guys. We can do it. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. Let me know, are you going to take profit in Tesla, or at what number would you actually take profit? For me, that number would probably be in the 3,000s. At the very least, it would have to surpass the market cap of Apple for me to even consider it, because I think that's in the works. This is Green Knight Trading, where Squires become knights. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.